Day 30. Welcome to the wall. It's officially 1 month on the wall. This was quite a journey. I just want to say thanks for following this far. Today we're just going to have some fun, and we'll do a recap with some of my biggest takeaways from this whole journey. Let's start with some hitting way back from day 1. And here's some hitting from today, day 30. Big difference in footwork. No split step at all on day 1. Good split steps on day 30. There's also an increase in intensity on day 30, but while still being controlled with the swing. Day 1 I was just super tight because I was afraid I was going to shank over the wall and lose the ball, but day 30, that fear is gone, and it's been replaced with trust. After hitting on the wall every day for a month, I trust my shots now, and that is so freeing as a tennis player. Alright, so first big takeaway, you get what you give. The wall returns the kind of ball that you give it. So if it's giving you out of control shots, it's because you're hitting out of control shots. So if you think the wall sucks because the ball is always out of control, I'm sorry to say, that might be on you. Now go apologize to your hitting partner. And this was a big emphasis for me during week 1, and the thing that helped with that was to watch the ball. All I worked on for the first week was watching the ball. And the reason that's hard is because I thought that watching the ball was a fundamental I had already mastered. But all of my shanks and mishits against the wall was proof that it was actually a fundamental that I was neglecting. So give that a try. Spend a few days just watching the ball. Watch the ball. Watch the ball. Number 2, mental strength. Your reactions on the tennis court are often indications of deeper issues that you probably need to deal with. And the thing with the wall is it will bring all of that out. God damn it. But if you can be honest with yourself about what you're reacting to and why you're reacting that way, there's always going to be a million things you can blame why your game doesn't feel good. So let's not do that anymore. We'll just know what we're here to do to the best we can today. We'll try to do that. Then you can start to work through it. And if you're able to do that, your mental strength will improve leaps and bounds on the court. And also, and probably more importantly, off the court too. You know what? The wall's a pretty good therapist, I will say. As well as a coach, a hitting partner. Nobody talks about how it's a therapist, but so far, man, it's been doing some work on me. Number 3, be kind. I'm sure you can see by now that the mental battle was a huge struggle for me early on. I would be so mean to myself over any error. One shank outdoes 20 good shots. I had to shift my mindset away from focusing only on the negative. But once I started being kind to myself, it was so much easier to stay positive. And I actually began to have fun. This was the first moment I saw a change from my usual bad attitude. That was an impressive shank for one, but I wanted to throw my racket so bad. But I didn't. I actually put it down nicely. And not only that, I ran to pick up the ball. So be nice to yourself out there. Tennis is already hard enough. Don't let your toughest opponent be yourself. Number 4, fast feet, calm hands. Early on, I made a push to have better footwork, but I realized that the faster I moved my feet, the more intense my hands became. It's weird to go fast with the feet and calm with the hands. It's hard to separate those two. I had always thought that the feet and the hands should be connected, but I found it to be much better when I separated them. I suddenly became a lot more versatile with my swing. Number 5, the split step. I'm trying to time my split step with when the ball hits the wall, which is pretty fast. In a real rally, I would have twice the amount of time before I need a split step. But if I can do this well within half the time against the wall, then I should feel like I had tons of time in a real rally. The other thing the split step is making me do is square back off to the court. Watch my feet here. By the time the ball hits the wall, my feet, hips, and shoulders are back square to the court. This should allow me better reaction time to move in whichever direction I need. Number 6, hitting with green dots. You heard that right. Using green dots was a game changer. The slower ball gives you more time to adjust your feet and to set up properly. And with how fast the ball comes back against the wall, it can be tough to get into a rhythm with a real ball. So if you're struggling with that, try using a green dot. And the other benefit of it is increased feel on the strings during contact. I was really focusing on where on the strings I was hitting. Forehand I was a little high, backhand I was opposite, down here. I can't tell that as much with this ball. I wonder if it's the deadness of the green dot that just holds the ball on the strings longer, so you can really feel where that is. This one just pops off so fast, it's harder to tell. And I didn't realize until hitting with the green dot that most of my shots were off center. That's something to think about. You can hit the strings, but still miss the sweet spot. Number 7, feeding with the backhand. If you have a one-handed backhand, feeding with the backhand is going to change your game, because it's those fine wrist movements that feeding really establishes into your muscles from doing that. So if you've got a two-hander, it's really a lefty forehand. Feed that left-handed. All of those little muscles in there would just really establish like a foundation, because you have that on whichever your dominant side is. Number 8, recognition. The key to your feet is your eyes. It was mind-blowing for me figuring that out yesterday. The key to better footwork is not just moving your feet faster, but it's anticipating and recognizing where the ball is going sooner. And the way to do that is with our eyes. Because how are you going to move your feet if you're not seeing what's coming? One benefit of the wall is to practice recognizing the different trajectory of bounces, and then practice anticipating where the ball will go. So I can see that and I can gauge what my movement needs to be as early as possible. And I think that is an advantage that will translate to match play. So those are my biggest takeaways and some of the main things that I will continue to keep working on. The first couple weeks, I'll be honest, they sucked. There was just a lot of frustration, small mistakes that I felt I shouldn't be doing, but that didn't last forever. I worked past it. It reveals a lot, but if you chalk that up to frustration and don't ever come back to the wall, how are you gonna work past that in a match, right? If you just have this piece of wood that's driving you crazy, exchange that for an opponent, good luck, man. I think you can see a big improvement in my hitting, but I also want to emphasize where the wall impacted me most, and that was on the mental side. Being able to persevere through the struggle of the first 2 weeks, dealing with a lot of my past tennis issues and a lot of internal demons, I can honestly say the wall has changed my outlook on tennis and my outlook on life. Well, there it is, 1 month on the wall. I'll link a playlist with all the videos below. There's a lot more in them that I didn't get to here, so check those out. Find a wall near you and go play tennis.